We're going to talk about SGX, the SGX coin, and the Lotos system. We'll discuss the application itself, what it is, how it works, and why it's popping up more and more in everyone's stories. And the CEO of Signal, Nikolai Tokarenko, will give us a more detailed explanation about this app, this opportunity, and the narrative that you're seeing increasingly often in every story. Good evening, good afternoon. Nikolai, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly well. Hi everyone, a very good day to you all. I just want to let you know right away that I am currently staying high up in the mountains, so the internet connection might lag a little bit here today. So I would like to kindly ask that you please don't judge our progress too harshly at this early stage. I want to extend a very warm and sincere welcome to all of the newcomers joining us today. We have officially reached the 5th day of the Signal project's strategic expansion phase. And right now, today, we are going to have a relatively short but very detailed presentation regarding the overall Signal project and the rapidly growing value of the SGX token within our ecosystem. Today, I'll start right from the very beginning. First, I'll show you the platform itself, the idea behind it, what place Signal occupies, what place SGX occupies, and then we'll take a closer look specifically at the growing SGX token. We'll be doing all of this on a presentation, meaning slides. So I'm turning on screen sharing and bringing up the slides. And you need to tell me how well you can see. Did I make it full screen so everything looks good? Okay, wait, so is this not visible, or can you see the second presentation from Kay now?
We can now see Signal, and the PDF document is up.
Signal. Just a second. Right now, it's like I'm just checking what it's opening. And there we go with that, or just as we planned.
View on.
Okay, full screen now.
No, you can see the site 1, 2, 3.
Okay, well, you can't see the rest, but that's fine. Let's go. So, in order to understand what a signal is, let's start from the very beginning. Yes, so I'm going to tell you about the 3-layer system that we developed together with the SEO of the Lotos project. His name is Sergey Tsvigun. Tomorrow we'll invite him to join us for an AMA session, and he'll share more about himself. He'll cover technical aspects and answer technical questions related to blockchain and other more complex technical topics. We have developed a 3-phase system for the development of the Lotos project, which includes the new product Signal and the growing SGX token. On this slide, you can see that we use the Lotos infrastructure, the virality of Signal itself, including the SGX token, which is the ignition for this engine depicted in the upper right corner, and mass use, meaning mass adoption or use for a broad audience in Minder mode. So this is how it looks across 3 levels within a single ecosystem. On the right side of the slide, you can see the very top image, which is MinderMod. That is, MinderMod is a new, unique way for an ordinary person to interact with the crypto world, or to put it another way, with the world of volatile assets within this application. This is something new, something that has never existed on the market before. Terminals, trading applications, and so on, they all look very similar. Candlesticks, a bunch of numbers, some charts running across the screen, and so on. And for an ordinary person, it's absolutely incomprehensible. The next square is the signal. SGX is an algorithmic growth mechanic designed to launch a viral wave, the so-called grow and gain. And most likely, what you find here is precisely the result of that. The actions of this growth mechanic. In other words, it attracts a lot of attention, a lot of energy, and people around it. And the most fundamental point, as you can see on the slide, is Lotos, the infrastructure, a terminal that generates real yield, which we will also discuss with you today. Essentially, we are industrializing the memecoin market by combining ready-made technology with a mass market UI interface. And I want to say, maybe this will sound bold to some, but no one has done this before. Because everyone who did something before only did something similar. For example, there was the Robinance exchange, then they built the Bybit exchange, there was this kind of terminal, they launched that kind of terminal, and they all look alike, the color changes a little, but the idea is always the same. But we went in a different direction and approached the solution more from the market side. On this slide, you can see that the market 150 billion is operating on broken rails. This is the market capitalization as of December 2024, and the average daily trading volume is 9.7 billion. And note that over 13 million new tokens were launched on the market in 2024. Today, in 2026, the number of these tokens has already reached 20 million. Despite the market's liquidity suffers from token overload, scams, and a lack of filters. Investors are losing money not because of a lack of opportunities, but because of the chaos happening in the market. And this is a big problem. So how do we solve this problem? Yes. So we call it the three dilemmas because it consists of three things. The first is informational noise and overload from clones. The solution is a signal layer or algorithmic filtering and curation of the flow. The next problem is the so-called rug pulls and manipulations. Just think about it. $500 million in 2024. That is, scammers have stolen more than $500 million through all sorts of fake tokens. And the solution is Lotus security, infrastructure protection, and contract scoring. Lotus is a ready-made trading terminal, a finished product. It's not just an idea, not something we just launched. This product has been built for 4 years by a team of professionals. They've already had their own native token, LTS, for a year now, and it's involved in what we're going to talk about today. And the third problem is a complicated UX, meaning a complex interaction process. For an average person dealing with DeFi, crypto, all those seed phrases, charts, bridges, gas, and so on. The solution is MainDemod with a swipe-to-trade interface. If you know what the Tinder app is, you'll soon understand just how unique this is. So, layer number one is the foundation based on Lotus. 4 years of development, ready-to-use technology, a functioning terminal, trade execution logic, smart contract analysis, all integrated into the decentralized world of finance. Built-in vulnerability scanners, honeypot, rock pool detection. Lotus is the chassis, essentially the machine that processes volume and generates commissions. Please remember this phrase, generates commissions, because it's very, very important. So layer number two is the algorithmic growth engine. This is the phase we are in with you right now. Organic issuance is algorithmic scarcity. Issuance stops after reaching the defined limits. In other words, issuance is inherently limited and will be completed at a certain stage. The goal is to create a viral loop for aggressive user acquisition at the start. And this is something we are already witnessing now. SGX is the launch vehicle for deploying the entire system. And it's important that this SGX immediately has utility. This token is necessary to obtain status, speed, and access to different levels of the platform. The next layer is MainDemod. Essentially, it's a Tinder UX, but for trading. Honestly, no one has done this before. We're building it for the first time in the world. A Tinder for meme coins. No friction, no candlestick charts or order book analysis, none of that fundamental analysis and so on. That is, based on the Lotus Foundation, we select for you 30, 40, or 50 tokens per day that are showing movement today and that potentially look the safest and most trending, specifically for today. And in a gamified format, you swipe left if you don't like the token or swipe right to add it to your portfolio and then make a purchase. Essentially, this is a funnel that massively converts users into the Lotus ecosystem. Let's move on. Next slide. The economic cascade, how growth transforms into value. So users come to SGX. Next, licenses are required for access. Licenses are purchased with LTS. LTS used for licenses is withdrawn from the market, and this triggers the loop, the viral loop we've been talking about. The hype around the viral SGX token creates fundamental buying pressure on the Lotus infrastructure token. We started moving in this direction on February 17th. At that time, the token was priced at 1.3 cents. Today, it is trading at over 6 cents, and this growth will continue. Let's move on. The mechanics of washout. How does this happen? Why will the pressure on LTS continue? Why is it important to have this token as well, let's say, for those who want to do hold? Because in Rex mode, we have 4 licenses, 30, 303,000, and 15,000. We have a separate slide on this, and today we'll talk about it directly. All of them are purchased with Lotus. Naturally, this token will be washed out, and as we move away from the hype towards the growth of the platform's commissions, pay attention, this is a very important slide. If you understand it now, you'll have an incredible insight about the token. Essentially, we are creating a new trading infrastructure because this is the most sustainable business model in Web3. So the first phase is grow, attracting users through the virality of SGX. This is where we are right now. Next is retention or keeping users. This is about the convenience of a better UX. And the third phase is monetization, revenue from trading commissions. This is the real business model in the world. Of the crypto economy, I roughly divide the whole world of crypto into 2 types of monetization. The first is the real economy. This is income from commissions and various types of infrastructure from providing services. In other words, this is a real business that earns money by providing some kind of value. And the second part of the business is speculation. It's volatility. I want you not to confuse them. So we, let's say through the speculation of SGX itself, we come to the main source of income, monetization through trading commissions. Next to it, on the far block, you can see that Uniswap, one of the largest DEX exchanges, has earned almost $1 billion in trading commissions over its entire existence. And when we analyzed the market, what was happening, we took two terminals, Bullocks and Axiom, and we were shocked by the fact that in just 1 year, these terminals earned more than $250 million. This trading volume was generated by an audience of only 36,000 users. So right now, we are in a place where a ready-made infrastructure has already been created. This is not a roadmap. It's not some project that will happen in the future. It already exists, and there is already a partnership. They are secured, and the next step is the launch of the SGX engine. And we are already with you. In fact, we've already passed this stage, meaning we've kind of launched it. Now I'm opening other slides for you, and we will talk specifically about the... So just a second. I'll open other slides, guys. I'll tell you specifically about SGX so that I think the picture will become a bit clearer for you. 1 second. Switching. Sharing the screen. Let's go. Now we're talking directly about SGX. There are only 10 slides in total. We'll go through them quickly. Here is exactly where it's worth stopping and diving deeper. What is SGX? Essentially, it's a growth engine, as we've already figured out. In other words, it's an element of an entire marketing strategy that, in my opinion, has achieved something incredible over these 5 days. It has gathered a huge community, massive liquidity, demonstrated growth, and shown what this system is capable of. So it's really a jet engine. These aren't just pretty words. It's not just a story where we say, yeah, we'll show you something now. The system has already proven itself, and several times at launch we had to apply cooldowns. We used mechanics to cool down the system because the growth was truly incredible. It was really huge. There was a surge in audience liquidity and so on. And so forth. It's amazing. How does it work? So SGX is the platform's growth token, a signal used to launch and scale the network. And what's amazing is that this same token, SGIX, is a utility token for this system and will be used in Minder mode. In order to access premium features, Minder mode will give you the ability to trade in a very simple way on various volatile elements. You will need to use the SGX token, and since we mine it only through the partner network from GX, this token is distributed and minted, that is, mined through the network and creates demand through a live queue. On this slide, you can see exactly that on the left side. We have a partner system that issues this token, and on the right, we have a live queue. And how this works. Let's look at another slide, which is a bit more schematic. So there are 2 ways to obtain this SGX. Please note that as of the launch on April 18th, there were exactly 0.0 SGX tokens on the market. So typically what companies do is they pre-mint this token. That is, they issue a certain amount of the token, then pre-sell it, sometimes at a lower price, sometimes at a higher price, or in some other way. But we took a completely different path, a unique path that only a handful of others have taken, or even tried to take, let's put it that way. And the point is that this token only comes into existence if the community grows. Usually people first create tokens and then try to build a community, but we did it differently. We build the community, and this community simultaneously influences the creation of these tokens. So how can you get access to this token? There are 2 ways. The first is to buy in the live queue. A user buys a token from current participants in the system, that is, those who either earned it through the affiliate program or bought it and are now willing to share or sell it to you. And the second way, which is essentially the only way to actually create these tokens, is through the affiliate program. New GX tokens appear exclusively through the referral network. Now let's quickly go over what journey you need to take, or what path. Step 1 is to get a referral link from the person who invited you and launch the app. If you have LTS tokens, you top them up. If you haven't done that yet, the app already has a built-in feature that's specifically designed to let you easily deposit and top up your account with USDT, seamlessly swap those funds for LTS, and then quickly activate your license. That's step number 2. Step number 3. Gain access to the SGX economic model thanks to your license. Step number 4. Take your referral link and start developing your partner program. Step number 5 is purchasing through the live queue. You can place your order in USDT in the queue and wait for it to be executed. And step number 6 is to participate in the growth of liquidity, because as we can see, liquidity is increasing every day. In my opinion, it has already reached a fairly significant volume in these first 5 days. And what's surprising is that it continues to grow. It keeps gaining momentum, even though there were large sales and significant movement yesterday. The SGX token has grown by 20% in the last 24 hours, guys, by 20%. And the growth of this token is only possible if it is being sold. In other words, the system is set up so that if no one is buying or selling, the token stays at the same price. But as soon as it starts being sold, it begins to move upward. This means that liquidity from the queue shifts into other hands, that is, into the hands of those who sold these SGX tokens. Okay, let's take a closer look, just a bit. Our licenses, that's how they are. There are 3 of them. The first costs $30, the second $300, the third $3,000, and the fourth $15,000. Licenses are the key to the system. They provide access to the affiliate program, access to the queue, purchases from SGX, and limits on participation in this ecosystem. How does this system work? So basically, you either pay for the licenses through LTC. The price is fixed at today's rate, but since everything is now automated through swap, there's really no need to worry about it on this slide. People usually buy through the options provided, and it works perfectly. How does the partner emission with GX work? We have a 4-level partner system. On the next slide, we'll go over the details of how everything is set up. And this slide does a great job of showing that when new users join, they get familiar with this system. And it's precisely thanks to these new users, because they buy and activate licenses, that new tokens are issued. And these tokens are distributed upward across 4 levels among the people who were responsible for you learning about this project. And this is a really great win-win solution, because both the people who learned about this project benefit, and those who were the reason they found out also receive such rewards. Accordingly, the way everything is set up for us, network growth equals token issuance growth. There are no bottlenecks, no skewing to the left or right in terms of payouts. Such an architecture guarantees 100% organic distribution of jigs and eliminates the creation of tokens out of thin air. Now let's take a closer look at our leads and IMs, what their purpose is, how they work, and so on. This is a very important part, so it's necessary to understand it. Please pay attention. Let's look at the lower part of this slide. All payouts are made in the SGX token. Let me repeat once again, everything is minted in real time, that is, thanks specifically to your activity. Look at how beautiful this is. By being active, you instantly receive the growing SGX token without any investment. At the current BAMC rate, everything works according to the following model. 1 license unlocks the first level of the referral program at 10%. The second license unlocks the second level of the referral program at 20%. The third license unlocks the third level of the referral program at 30%. And the fourth license unlocks the fourth level of the referral program at 40%. If you add up 40, 30, 20, and 10, you get 100%, meaning that 100% is distributed among the participants. And in this way, the participant receives an instant payout. Because thanks to it, Minty mints this token, meaning it is mined. Yes, so you receive these tokens directly. The company doesn't take them. You get them yourself, and then you can either hold onto them or sell them in the live queue. Currently, there are people interested for a total amount of $350,000. Everything is on the blockchain, all on smart contracts. You can go and see this for yourself. The person who invited you will show you, explain everything, and so on. The next important point is that each license has a lifespan. The first license lasts for 30 days, the second for 90, the third for 180 days, and the fourth for 360 days. Each license has a purchase limit of 10 times its nominal value and a sales limit of 5 times its nominal value. This means that in addition to being able to use the affiliate program, you can also place your sell orders in USDT. And those orders I mentioned, totaling $350,000, are directly related to these limits. This means that all participants in the system have, in one way or another, placed orders totaling more than $350,000 as of today. To be precise, this amount is already over $410,000, but already $60,000 more. I don't even know. I haven't checked the statistics today. Maybe they've already bought back about $80,000 there. So it's about $430,000. That amount has already been placed in this queue. Note that it's quite a substantial sum for just 5 days. This is a very good sign that there are people who have figured this out. They understood how it works, and they became participants in this system. It's also important to mention that we have various types of cooldown mechanics. They are described in detail in our white paper, which you can find on our Telegram channel. There is a pinned navigation post in the channel, and there you'll find a link to this white paper and to other resources. You'll also find a link to these slides there, and all of this is available directly in the Signal app in the settings section. The white paper opens directly in the language your app is set to, so it's very convenient for you to figure everything out. I strongly recommend familiarizing yourself with it so you understand how our daily limits work as well, but for now, I won't overload the broadcast. If you have any questions, I'll explain how the mechanics work, including the live queue. So, you activate the license, join the live queue, and gain the right to purchase SGX liquidity architecture. The purchase is made using SDT. The token is bought directly from participants who received it through the partner system. In essence, the company only creates the infrastructure and the rules for interaction between people. That is, it regulates the process of interaction. It does not have direct access to the economic process because everything operates on smart contracts between people. People exchange these tokens with each other entirely at their own discretion. And this leads to a very interesting movement which is described in detail on the next slide. Why does the token grow steadily? And how did we achieve this? In just 5 days, the token has already made almost a 3x. We started on April 18th at $1, and today the token is worth $2.80. And in the last 24 hours, it has grown by 20%. Before that, it was up 9% in previous days, and so on. Why is there chaos in the market at all? Why does the crypto market look so bloody, dangerous, and risky right now, and so on? Because if a large amount of liquidity enters the market, the token immediately skyrockets. And then it drops just as sharply because someone sells it. In our case, we implemented a solution that works as a queue mechanism, which restrains sharp price fluctuations. It allows demand to be distributed gradually, makes the token's growth smooth, maintains the mathematical stability of the market, and heats up audience interest, which is very important for our goals and objectives as a company. We are not attracting investments. We are attracting an audience that will become early testers and early users of our Mindermon. And the final slide in this deck, look, we managed to get through it all in just 20 minutes. This will be excellent material for working on SGX token flow. The economic cascade works as follows. You purchase LTS tokens, use them to activate the second license, then the partner network is activated. That's step 3. The fourth step is SGX distribution, meaning the minting of the token happens thanks to step number 4. The fifth step is the live queue, which keeps moving. This leads to more and more liquidity coming into the project. In summary, the SGX system serves as the economic engine of the Signal platform. As the partner network grows proportionally, it's very important to understand that the number of users increases, the mathematical demand for SGX rises, and the overall liquidity of the token grows, thus closing the cycle. Essentially, we have already closed this cycle with you. And now we even have some memes about this in... And wow, the price is already at 2.92, guys. That's incredible. While I was giving the presentation, the token went up even more. I don't know by how many percent. It was 2.8 before, and now it's already 2.92. That's amazing. Congratulations to everyone who already owns these tokens. Let me remind you that there are 2 ways you can get the token. Either take a place in the queue and buy it when your turn comes, or right here and now. Thank you. When your turn comes, or right here and now, thank you. You can also get these tokens instantly through the partner program without any additional investment. This is what makes this system unique. You can actually mine it yourself. But an important point, the mining of this token is limited. For example, with Bitcoin, mining continues. I don't remember exactly whether it's 50 or 60 years for Bitcoin, but SGX will be mined for a maximum of 12 months, at most 1 year. That's why this is a unique opportunity for you to take advantage of it and be the reason that, thanks to you, a token appears that is constantly growing in value. That's all from me. Let's move on to questions. I'll be happy to answer any technical questions you have. You can write your question in the chat or raise your hand. And Mr. Raymond will be happy to turn on your microphone, shower you with applause, and support you. So let's say with a public speech.
Listen, let's thank Nikolai for the great, concise, and informative presentation. Give some feedback, drop something in the chat. Let Nikolai take a breather and relax for a moment. Because honestly, I really enjoyed it. I mean, I genuinely enjoyed it because in reality, everything is just that simple. We always overcomplicate things in our heads, don't believe in something, or add more doubts and so on. It was brilliant.
Thank you very much.
You could sell it, seriously, you could actually sell it.
Let's move on to the questions. Vlad writes, in a year, the buyout in Sochi will also stop. Vlad, as you may have noticed, we approach all matters very strategically, and we have 3 phases in our strategy. The team has already completed the first phase, and now we are in the second phase with you. The third phase will be bringing this token to the market, and it will become a public token. Right now, it has an algorithmic growth principle. This is a marketing strategy. When its emission ends, it will begin. The use of this token, its utility within the Minder mod signal, and it will gradually enter the market and become, well, just like everything is set up in DEX, if you know, there's a liquidity pool, it has USDTs and SGXs. The emission will be very small, and according to our plan and our estimates, the number of people who will come in will continue to drive the token price upward. But it will be very interesting. This is a kind of know-how. I studied the market for 4 months. No one has done anything like this. I haven't found anything this interesting anywhere. There have been some attempts, some interesting efforts, but no one has done anything like this. And I want to emphasize once again that we no longer just have a roadmap. We already have a launched product. We already have a working Lotus and a ready community that is already inside. And we just watch and rejoice when we have news like this.